Hey guys, welcome back. Pablo here. And today's video is going to be a follow-up to the video that I made back in December talking about the LG display 2 years later. But in today's video, I'm actually going to be showing you how I use the monitor and how you can use this display as well. I heard your feedback and comments about not just showing little clips of the actual display, but showing you how you can use this monitor for your productivity, for your multitasking, and how I use it as well. There's some things that I don't use this monitor for. For instance, I don't use it for Photoshop. When I do make my thumbnails, I'll use Canva. I used to have Photoshop on my previous computer, but not on this one. And honestly, I haven't had the need to use it. But I will be showing you my workflow for editing, what that looks like, editing videos, that is, multitasking, doing research, work from home setups as well. And another thing I saw in the comments was that I tend to speak too slow, but that was done on purpose because I normally speak way too fast. So I was trying to slow it down so that way you guys can understand every word that I say. However, if it's too slow, then I'll just go back to being a little bit faster. I guess you can't please everybody. But either way, let's just get right into this video and show you how I use it and how you could potentially use it. Let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with internet browsing and multitasking in that way. Whether you're doing research, catching up on news, social media, whatever it is, this is how I typically have it set up. I usually have my message screen right here, and I like it off to the side on the right hand side right there. So I'll put that there, and then I'll typically put my main Safari screen in the middle. I like to have it this way, and then I'll keep all these other ones here. And there's times where I just keep them down, minimized at the bottom over here. There are times where I have them all up here, and I'll just do this to get back and forth between them, either on my mouse or on my keyboard. So for now, let's just put everything up here. We'll do this. Like I say, the way I like to have this set up is the one screen in the middle here. Before, when I had the two monitors set up, I used to have one over here, and so it was literally one screen on each monitor. However, with this one, I feel like it's so much wider. Even though I had two 27-inch iMac displays, or one was the desktop, the other one was a Thunderbolt display, they were both, it just didn't seem as wide. And also the fact that the screen, I can move the screens a little bit more like how I wanted those to be. With this one here, the curve is not as pronounced as personally I'd like it to be. I know I've said that before in previous videos. So you tend to look over here and then have to look over here. So I found it to be easier to have this set up this way. And you can make these screens as big or as small as you want them to be. So let's see, let's put one here. Let's grab this one. Let's make this one a little bit smaller as well. Let's grab this one over here. Let's bring it over this way. And now you can see that you have three different internet browsing windows right in front of you. So you can really just do your research. You can be looking at something here, and then you can have another page over here that's verifying that information. Or there's times where I also have my notes app and I'm taking notes from here and I'm putting it over here. Or if I'm doing a workout, and I'm researching a specific exercise, right? So if I'm like, oh, well, what's this workout here? I'll come over here and I'll look it up real quickly. So let's go to my training and over here and let's say, oh, what is a knee up squat? Here you go, you have some videos as to what that is, or different websites you can go to check those out as well. So you can be doing that all without having to have that small screen and having to move stuff over. And if you want to get to an app, let's say everything's kind of a jumbled mess like this, and you want to get to whatever, whether it's your Notes app, whether it's your iMessage, whatever it is, press this, and then you can go right to it quite easily. And Apple recently added the ability to have different profiles for your internet browsing. Because before, what I used to do, and I still do, I have these tab groups on the side here, and as you can tell, I have a ton of those, which I do have to clean up. And then, you know, I had some from like work, some for working out and training, trips that I'm planning on taking, car stuff like that right over here. But since Apple came out with the profiles, I've been keeping, you know, trips separately, so I can do different profiles, and here are the different profiles that I have currently. I just haven't fully set them all up, so that way it doesn't get crazy when you have a zillion tabs up here. You can kind of spread them out in an organized fashion where, you know, if I had like for this one, this tab is called training and diet. If I had a profile that I could have, you know, one tab for diet, one tab for workouts, or if I want to do a specific, you know, back workout, chest workout, I can have all that set up just like that, instead of having to look through all of these tabs as to, oh, what is this? Oh, what is that? Oh, I'm looking for this. This makes it organized, obviously, instead of having just one page of all tabs, but you can get even more organized if you use the profile feature in Safari. And now for those of you looking to transform your home into a nice work from home setup, this is how you can do that, right? So you have your, you can have your email on this end over here. So you have your Zoom tab here, which you can minimize if you want to. You can keep it up here. Right here you have your, whatever you're using as your, you know, whether it's, what is it, Microsoft Word. This is Pages for Apple. You can have that here. You also have your calendar with the Mac OS. This is what that would look like. And you can do it by day, week, month, a year. You can have that there. Again, another thing, you can resize as you want. Now let's say you want to, you know, you're in a Zoom meeting, and this is what that would look like. I have my webcam right up here, and sometimes this is a little high, so I can bring my monitor down, which I'll show you in a little bit. But here you can have your Zoom meeting, and then you can have your, if you're taking notes with your document, or you're taking notes with this over here, meeting, you know, whatever date it is. I have no idea what the date is. 6th, so the 6th of February. And just start taking notes, right? You're talking here, you can go look through your emails, or if you want to like look something up, you know, open up a new page, or you can, you know, have another page here, you can open up a new tab. So I think that covers a lot of what you could be doing working from home. Research, emails, video conferencing, your calendar's right there. So the possibilities of this are quite endless of what you can do and how you can set this up. You have so much screen space, so much screen real estate, that there is like no right or wrong way. It's just how you like to set this up. Another way you can use the monitor is for educational purposes. So for instance, here I have Babble Up, learning a language. So with that, you can have your main screen here. Perhaps you have your second screen there, which you're gonna be doing research on. And then you have your notes taking here, if you wanna do some note taking over here. You also have Word docs here. So essentially, you can make this, you know, small or as big, like I said, with all the other scenarios you have. And maybe you don't have both of these, right? Maybe you just do the one or the other, so that just takes its spot right there. You can make this a little bit bigger if you wanted to. And then you just start, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're taking an online class, whether you're just doing research for a project that you have going on. When was Julius Caesar born? Let's say, put that there. And that just comes to mind because I have the Italian language for Babel up here, and maybe you're writing a project for your Italian class on Julius Caesar and you need to know when he was born and talk about who he was and all that stuff there. So you can have that page up there. If you wanted to, you can do another one. You can put that over here. You can make this one smaller. Bring that over. Throw that there. Make this one a little bit smaller. You can actually move this over here. I'm hiding the messaging because when I'm doing this, I don't think you're gonna be messaging, and you'll get a little notification up here saying you got a message. So you can see that, or even down here, I'll tell you. And there you go. You can have all the research that you're doing. Julius, let's get rid of this. Julius Caesar was born July 100 BC. And then, you know, keep writing about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're researching. But that is one way that you can use the education setup, similar to what you would be using it for, like if you're doing the internet browsing, multitasking. Let's now talk about how you can use this for watching videos, Netflix, just overall entertainment. So I'm gonna show you quickly on YouTube here. So let me put the volume, or turn the volume off on that. Out here, you can set it for theater mode, which will make the screen this big. You can do full screen, or you can have a mini player. Let's try the mini player. Makes a tiny little guy here. Let's bring this back up. Then you have the default view, which is what you see here, and then you can go full screen, and you can see it like that. So because it is widescreen, or it's a full wide display, you're not gonna be able to fill the whole thing on either end because of, at least for whatever format that video was made in, if it's not made for a wide screen, it's not gonna fill up either side, or maybe the front to back or top to bottom. So that way you have it here, but you can still have a nice display, to watch if you want to do that. I don't typically watch many movies on my monitor, but you have the option to do so if you so choose. Let me show you something on Netflix. Hopefully I don't get hit with any copyright stuff on that. Otherwise I'm gonna have to take it off. So let's open up this movie. Let's see. You can have multiple screens as you're watching this particular movie. If you don't want to have it full screen, you can just set it up right in the middle, wherever you want, right? There's no right or wrong. This is a default view, but let's say you want to make it bigger. You go, and again, you can see that there is still the black bars at either end because this movie wasn't, widescreen or whatever the formats are. It's going to be hard to really find content that is going to be super wide to fill up everything, but as you can tell, it fills up most of it. And it's just like watching, a movie on your TV where you have the bars at the top and bottom. You kind of forget that they're even there, so you just kind of focus on this part of your screen right here. And there you go. This is what it looks like watching some movies, TV shows, whatever YouTube movies you want to, YouTube videos that you want to watch. That's how you do that. So let me get out of that so I don't get hit with any copyright stuff. I wasn't showing you the movie, I was just showing you how you can use it to watch movies on this monitor. If you wanted to do that, definitely have the option to do that. It does have HDR with this particular monitor. Now let's talk about video editing. Whether you're a professional editor or just dabbling in content creation, screen real estate is key. So I use Final Cut Pro. So if you use this, you are familiar with how this looks. I currently have it set up from almost screen to screen, and I'm just gonna bring that over there. And as you can see, you have everything you need right in front of you. So you have your timeline down here, you have your inspector over here. Down at the bottom here, I have different transitions, all the transition screens here, effects as well. And here's all the media that I'm using for this particular video. And everything that you need is right in front of you. So you can see, you know, the project that you're working on. You have your timeline here, pretty much the whole thing. Let me make this a little bit smaller. So here you can see I have my whole timeline at the bottom. I minimized it. So that way I can see the whole project here, but as I'm working on it, I get a little bit bigger on it, or I zoom in on it. That way I can kind of see and I can make more finer detail adjustments to the video that I'm making. Up here, you can change what it is that you see or how you see it if you want to make something a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. And I like to have as many things open to me as possible. I like to have my inspector over here, you know, but when I am previewing it towards the end of the video, then I'll do this. Or, you know, you can always bring this thing over that way if you wanted to. And if it gets too wide, you can still minimize your screen, right? So if you want to just have that because you have some notes over here, then you can definitely do that. Or if you want to have your web browser here, you can definitely do that as well and bring that over that way. So you definitely have options when you're editing. I typically tend to have it full screen or as full as I can, and then I go back and forth if I need to look at something, whether it's notes, whether it's a web browser or my messenger. It just makes it so much nicer, so much easier, more efficient to edit the video when everything's right in front of you. There's times where I use just the laptop screen when I'm, you know, upstairs or I'm away. It works. I just like this setup. So I try my best to edit while I'm in the studio so I can see everything in front of me. At this point, I'm just used to it, and it just makes it so much easier for me to edit this way. There are times, you know, I don't know if you can see me here, but let me go up a little bit further here. Like I do have to look over here to my left-hand side or to my right-hand side a little too much, but really over here, you just have the effects and transitions. So, you know, I'm grabbing and putting in here. Up top here, you're gonna have your inspector. So it's really just moving, you know, stuff over. It's not really getting that fine detail. Sometimes it can be a pain when I'm working on in the timeline. It's like over to the edge over here. But for the most part, I try to have everything right in front of me, right in line here. I shut this light off because it was creating a crazy glare, and I'm sorry if it created a crazy glare for other parts of the video, but I turned that off so that way you wouldn't see that glare. And I was trying to get a better shot of it head on, but it was kind of hard to get the whole screen for you to be able to see it. But I think this gives you an idea of how you can use this LG display to edit your videos, whether you're using Final Cut or Premiere, whatever it is, DaVinci Resolve, whatever it is that you're using to edit video or really do any sort of creative work. This gives you an idea of like the expansive size that you're gonna get to be able to work on your videos. And I just don't know if I'd be able to go to anything smaller than, I don't know, I don't even know the sizes down from 49. What is it, like 37 or something like that? Maybe that's probably the smallest I'd be able to go for one screen. So for me, this works exactly like I want it to. I'm not really gonna show you any gaming on here. One, because I'm not a gamer, and two, I guess more importantly, this monitor is not really designed for gaming. It only has a 60 Hertz refresh rate, and I know that you need way more than that for a game to look and feel the right way, to work the right way. So I'm not going to show you that because this is not what this monitor is for. This is more for productivity, multitasking, and your everyday kind of tasks that you may do. You know, whether you're creative, whether you're working from home, whether you just love having as many screens as possible open, and that's what you want to use it for. That's what this is more aimed for, as opposed to actual gaming. I will link some other gaming monitors down in the description below, so that way you can see those. And if those are what your interests are, you can, you know, choose one of those over the LG. Now let me show you, creative workflows. Let's say you have to do something on Canva, making something on Canva, or using Photoshop. Like I said earlier, I don't have Photoshop, so I use Canva to make thumbnails and stuff like that. So let's go there quickly, and let's just go to YouTube thumbnail. And now from here, you have this set up here. And let's say you want to make some, or you want some research on whatever video that you are looking up. So we opened up YouTube, and you're in your studio editor, or your YouTube studio, and you want to, take these words here or something. You want to copy it and put it over here, and that is what you want your YouTube to say. Then you can move it around. Let's get a different photo, and let's say we want, I don't know, look at this. So we're gonna bring that here, and we'll replace it just like that, and then we can move this around however we want to. Then eco-friendly impact, that makes no sense, but you can always look up eco-friendly. And let's say we like this one, right? So let's change it for this. So move it over, and maybe put that over a little bit more. Do a little bit more there, something like that. I don't know. And that way you can use this to, make some thumbnails. What else can you make on Canva? You can make anything and everything, right? Documents, whiteboards, presentations. Let's see what else you can make here. Social media stuff, if you want to make an Instagram post on here, whatever it is. You guys know Canva and how that works. You can do that while still having different pages open to do your research, whatever it is that you're looking for to do, or if you're putting a document together and you have your Word doc here, but you want to make it nicer, you want to spice it up a little bit, grab the stuff, copy and paste, bring it over, clean it up, make it nice. So that's how you can use this for your, your creative workflows. Whether you're a graphic designer, photographer, filmographer, you can have multiple pages open. I know it's so much easier to do stuff, create stuff when you have that screen real estate. I'm not a big fan of having to have everything hidden like this on a smaller screen. You got to keep looking, going back and forth, going back and forth. This way you have everything open to where you need it to be. A few things that I also want to point out are what I have this monitor on right now. And from your angle, probably looks like it's floating, but back here, you can see that there is the stand, and I can position this monitor pretty much however I want to. So I like to particularly have this monitor where it's eye level, so around right here. But let's say I raise my chair up a little bit, or I put it down more, whatever it is that I'm doing. Or for instance, when I was, if you're doing Zoom calls, this is like too high up, so I may want to raise my chair to be more in line with the actual camera here, or lower it down. So the way I do that is, and let's get this out of the way because I'm going to raise this higher. You just kind of lift it up here as high as you want it to be, or as low as you want it to be. There. That's a little too low for me, so I'll put that right there. I like having this here. It's a Lume Cube product, or it's the Lume Cube. I forget what the exact name for it is, but I do like having it here. One for video calls, because then I can raise this up, and I'm sorry if I blind you, and you have way more lighting for you here, or just as a workspace light. Illuminates all this area right here nicely. Because I have the video cam there, I don't have space to put a light bar up here. And granted, I could move this to a stand and do all this other stuff, but I like this little setup that I have going on here. That stays right there. This illuminates, and you can see it's pretty dark without it. I like that. I like having that on. It gives me a little extra light. And let me show you in the actual monitor's settings, which you access over here. There's a little wheel or a little push thing. And if you go to the settings, there's input, right? So if you go to the end, hopefully you can see that. You have picture in picture, right? So if you click on this, you have all these different modes at the end over here, and let me move it this way so that's probably a better way for you to see it. Yep. So you can have picture-in-picture like this. So up here you can put in HDMI and a USB-C, so you can have multiple things plugged into this, not just the one monitor or one laptop. You want to put a computer or like a desktop set up to this and a laptop, so you can have all that set up for you there. You can do that as well. I just have the USB set up here, so I won't be able to show you that, but you have the option to do that and have different monitor setups. So you can do like a half screen, third of a screen. You can have it set up like this. You can have it with it's small on the side, small on the other side, top, bottom. So you can do different ways or set this up differently if you want to set it up this way. And as you can see, let me show you the input list, is you have your HDMI 1, HDMI 2, and your display port. I'm using the USB-C for this particular setup, but you have all those different options in the back. But I'm pretty sure you can only use 2 of those at once if you want to use the picture-in-picture. Here is where you can set the different picture modes. So HDR effect, custom vivid, whatever it is that you want to do. I have it as HDR effect. You can adjust your picture here, brightness, I have it at 56, so this definitely goes a lot brighter. I don't have it for auto brightness because I don't like that, and also the camera up there is actually blocking the sensor, so I don't even bother with that. And then you have your general settings over here, which you can change. You can do different things to it. I don't think I did too much to it because I didn't need to. And over here, you can also set the volume, because this does have its own speakers, which are pretty good if you don't want to add anything else, if you don't need it, if you're just watching, you know, videos or whatever, if you don't need crazy speaker setup. I don't. I just have these LGs, not the LG, sorry, I'm having Altic Lansing speakers here, and that's about it, right? So that's where you have your settings to change the different inputs that you're in, if you want to go back and forth to a different one, or if you want to have a picture-in-picture, which is also very nice to have. That is the settings and how I have this monitor set up on a stand, so it's not just sitting here without me being able to move it up and down or side to side. And I believe the display's stand that comes with it, you can move it up and down some, but this monitor stand has way more movements that you can do if you wanted to. I mean, this is in the way right here, so I really can't move it as low, but I can go pretty high, and as you can tell, I can bring it out all the way over here and then bring it back and just set it up, you know, as high as there. There's different adjustments in the back. I like having that flexibility of being able to move the monitor from unleashing creativity in video editing to redefining efficiency in web browsing and productivity, and to mastering the work from home challenge. It's clear that this display isn't about just seeing more, it's about doing more. What do you think about this size monitor, and would you get one? And if you already have one, how are you using that display? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot out of it, and it helps you in your decision whether you're looking to get one of these monitors or just wanted to see what it can do. Thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. Like this video, subscribe to the video, comment down on the video. You guys know exactly what to do. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know as well. And like always, keep on living a modern lifestyle through technology. Peace. See you in the next one. Bye.